What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Vinny's Corner. I'm your host, Vinny. This is my co-host. I still want to call you Cove by natural reaction, so just putting that out there. So thank you, anybody and everybody who joins us this week. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on air, and per usual, we'll touch on a few different things. Of course, the NFL season is right here and upon us. Some interesting things from the preseason. One major headline that I'll bring up. We've got some MLB, of course, to talk about. I'm not going to jump too far into this stuff, but as usual, I'll just give you guys a heads up. This Saturday, you got UFC 319, Dricus du Plessis against Khamzat Chimaev. That's an awesome fight. That's the middleweight title fight. So definitely check that out if you're a betting person. I think Chimaev is going to stop him in the second round. We'll see what happens, But, yeah, that's a really good card. That should be a fun one to watch. High-level MMA. Can't beat that. And, in the UK, there's a guy fighting out of the UK named Moses Aitama. He's like a bit of a KO artist. People compare him to, say like a Mike Tyson. He's like 21, 22 years old. He's got kind of like a gatekeeper fight against the guy Dylan White, tough dude, kind of a journeyman out there. But a solid test for a dude like Aitama, who's like kind of on the prospect level, but really exciting for the heavyweight division and could be like the next great heavyweight. So it'll be interesting to see. I'm pretty excited for it, of course. And then you got like the NFL stuff. So there's a lot going on this weekend, of course. So I know kind of like per usual, my guy Kale's got a lot of questions. He likes to ask questions. I like to answer them. So let's kind of dive right in tonight, right? Why don't we? We got baseball stuff to start, yeah?
Yeah. I got some interesting ones for you, for sure. So, which team made the smartest move at the trade deadline and why?
The smartest?
Yeah.
It's just an interesting way to word it. I would probably say the Padres. Padres had a couple of really good moves, right? They kind of shored up any questions that they did have. I think the Mariners made some really strong moves.
I'm iffy on it right now because, just because you brought it up, the Mariners deal, to me, the Mariners deal is it hasn't really panned out for either side.
Well, and it's really quick for it to pan out, right? But in signing those two players, my thought is that the Mariners expect to have a deep playoff run, right? First, they have to get into the playoffs, which right now is looking like a wild card. But can they use a little lift from Naylor and Suarez to take the AL West, right? So it's going to be time before I think it pans out. They're not just going to show up and be hitting them out of the park every game, right? But
no, but they're barely hitting a 180, so it's his numbers have dropped. Suarez's numbers have dropped a little bit.
So here's the thing. The move, because it depends on what you've given up, I guess, in this case, right?
Uh-huh.
It could be a bad move. It could wind up being something that ends up doing nothing for them, right?
Yes.
But right now, going into if they go into the playoffs, right? Adding a guy like Naylor, You can't really argue with that move, right? Like
Oh
it's
no, you can't. That's the thing. You really can't. Like if we're talking November, October, November, and the Mariners win it all, then yeah, it was a great move.
yeah.
So I mean, I understand what you mean. Like you're not really going to depict it until the end of the year. Like if this move helps them win a championship, boom, whatever. No one's going to go against that. I just don't know if Naylor and Suarez can get the Mariners to an ALDS.
That's fair. Um, right. And so this is the thing, right? I think it's important that these guys show up regular season
Hmm.
because I think it's important uh, for the Mariners' playoff aspirations. I think the best option for them is to win the AL West.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
they had the lead, they lost the lead. They're now tied for the lead. It's gonna be like this all season for the playoffs.
Listen, man, it's already August. They're dealing with the Astros.
Hmm.
So, we'll see what happens, right? But again, those are definitely like if you had to pick out of a hat and say like who are two guys that you would want to bring in, right? Especially from an offensive perspective, they made the right picks, right?
Oh yeah, they made the moves for the guys that they wanted. Obviously,
Yeah.
management made their choice. Suarez was there before. Naylor's going to bring something different. I can understand the moves.
What do you think about the
It's
Padres?
Padres, not so much. Like I'm not really worried about. I didn't think the Padres really had a needed to move. I think they're strong enough right now to maybe hold off the Dodgers. But I mean, I don't know. I got a difference and it goes into my second question. Which deadline winner, like the A's or Carrera, returns the Astros, will make the biggest playoff, like postseason impact? And uh, I mean, it's early, but like Toronto, you know, they got Bieber. I know Bieber's not as strong as they think he is, but now they're saying he is going to be stronger. And I think that's going to be a big, bold move for Toronto. That puts them from, if they win the division and they get the bye, giving Bieber more time to get time in so he can get strong for the playoffs. That's definitely putting Toronto in the ALDS or further.
I just want to say thank you for touching on the Blue Jays. I So I was talking to some guys about this, and I said I feel like the World Series is going to be the San Diego Padres and the Toronto Blue Jays.
Mhm.
That's what my gut tells me right now, like today.
Yeah.
So
I have Detroit versus Toronto in a 7, and I really don't know who's going to win on the 7. But unfortunately, I have the Dodgers. Dodgers somehow sneaking their fucking all star cast into the World Series again.
the Dodgers. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think that I don't think either team is gonna make it back. I don't think the Yankees or the Dodgers make it back this year. Just a
I mean,
feeling that I have.
you guys got to get past Boston, Toronto, Tampa. You're not doing so strong in your division. That's what's hurting you.
The AL East is good baseball.
Yeah. Oh, it
like,
is.
there's, I mean, like just let's call it what it is for a second. It's good baseball, right?
Yeah.
The Blue Jays are a really solid team. So now to answer your question, uh, specifically. What we were talking about, what what moves helped the most for like a postseason run, right?
Hmm.
Um, so I think from an offensive, sorry, I was just plugging my I was plugging my laptop in. So I think from an offensive standpoint, I don't think you can go against what the Mariners did. If if the Yankees are playing meaningful baseball this fall, let's say it that way,
Hmm.
the Bednar move and could end up being a good one.
Hmm.
Uh, out of the bullpen for us for sure. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know, but those are the ones that stand out to me like right off the top. 100%.
Yeah. So on the side of like winners, let's go for the. I wouldn't say losers, but what was your reaction to the Twins fire sale? 10 major leaguers traded, and 38 total players were traded within the organization in one day.
Um, I I mean, I guess the best way to say it is that I didn't realize, or I didn't think they were that bad.
It didn't. Wow, man. If they didn't, if I've been watching them all year, and I'm like, I couldn't believe it. Like they were just bam, 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 and then they won 10 straight, and then ever since, man, they just
Because
can't hold on to it.
I've been so focused on the Guardians and the Tigers. I forgot, like and then you have the Royals. Like I kind of forgot about the Twins, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, that's because they weren't really doing anything. That's the biggest
Well,
problem.
listen,
The Marlins have completely did a 180 compared to what the Twins did.
um, and I guess you get different feeling about your team, right? Like you
Mhm.
feel like you have the pieces to compete within your division, you go in, right?
Yeah,
The Twins obviously felt like they didn't, so they tried to get as much value as they could.
yeah.
And I'm not mad at them for that.
Oh no, but I'm just equally surprised. Like, if any team needed a fire sale, it was Colorado, and then Colorado did trade off some pieces. You guys got McMahon in the whole deal, like,
I
and then
didn't
you got
see this coming.
yeah.
Yeah,
I see.
like
I seen. I if like I'd say when we were talking like weeks ago, I was telling you like, oh, without you per se, in some levels, but also Thomas too, like because Thomas is a huge Yankees fan. But I was telling him McMahon, Bednar, like I was telling him guys that the Yankees would go after, and he's like, he didn't think you guys would go after them either. So I mean, from a Yankees perspective, another Yankees fan didn't see this coming either, but I kind of seen it coming. It was just like those are the kind of guys that you guys will go market after. And I mean, hopefully it works out for you. But like, because the Red Sox have 2 games up on you, the Rays are 6 games back of you, but you're also 6 games behind Toronto. So it's like, you got to figure something out. Like the Rockies were winning more games in the last 2 months than almost the Yankees have in the last 2 months. It's like,
okay, so um and like listen, I don't want to just sound like the old guy who grew up watching 90s baseball, but
yeah,
like the Yankees need to learn how to play baseball, right? We can't just like everything can't be a home run,
yes.
right? Like it's just like that doesn't win. Like that's not the answer.
No,
Like it it,
no,
it
it's
it
not
definitely
going to be the
helps.
answer. It's never
Yeah.
going to be the answer. But though I used to say that in the '90s when I watched the Yankees, same time as you watching them, like I remember my buddies always like, man, like goddamn Yankees, goddamn Yankees. I'm like, you don't have 160 home run hitter, 140 home run hitter, a couple 20 home run hitters, and guys who barely can go long ball. you had guys that were averaged between 15 and 25 on 7 of your 9 batters. Like you guys were all in the 90s, they were all consistent hitters. That's what
Yeah.
made like the 98, 99, 2000 team so dynamic because they all played equal.
Well,
I mean,
listen, if you watch a lot of the teams that are playing good baseball right now, they have people who can just put the ball in play, right?
yeah, yeah.
The
Well,
Detroit
that's what I'm talking
Tigers
about.
are not all home runs.
Yeah. You don't
You know,
need, like I said, as I said, you don't need a 60 over home run hitter every year. You could take that guy, milk him into 5 different players that get you 10 home run, like 15 home runs each. Guess what? That's production. You know, it's because then you have then you when you're going up against pitchers, the pitchers is like okay, you look at the Yankees on most of their lineup. It's like you got Stanton, you got Judge, you got Bellinger, like say those 3 guys. Once you get past those guys, you're just like, all right, I got the rest of the lineup. It's easy. But the '90s Yankees, it was like, oh shit! Every batter you had fear that he could go any which way with it. So it scared pitching staff. So they didn't know how to pitch around it.
yeah, being able to put the ball in play, right?
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that above, I think, anything. So, uh, you know, the thing is that there really isn't anything offensively that they could add to
Mm.
this Yankees team and justify it, right?
Yeah.
Like the team's got what it needs. It just has to learn how to play baseball. Like
I know the one
just
comment that's gonna kill you though. It's you don't got a Mario Rivera, you got a Devin William problem.
well, and that's what it is, right? Like we've got the talent, we just need to learn how to play baseball.
Yeah. Your closer
And
needs to know how to shut down a game.
and listen, I don't want to sound like the typical Yankee fan, but like I'm really over Aaron Boone. But I was over him last year.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, to be fair, yeah, I understand your frustration with Boone, but if your players ain't playing, it's it's only 70% Boone's fault.
listen, I'm
Hey,
I'm I'm
I gave you
ready.
70. I gave you 70.
These
30% on
guys,
player.
these guys got me ready to pack it in for the season. Like it's rough out there for a Yankees fan.
So, which underdog or surprise contender do you think will emerge in these postseason races?
I mean, I think we've been talking about it. I think the surprise contender, and to me, it's not really a surprise contender, but it's the Blue Jays. Like I feel
No.
like people are like not taking them serious yet.
Oh
Um,
no, no, there's no way they have been because like I remember April, May. You got your typical Jays fan. You're like, oh, it's typical season for the Jays. Now look at them. Like now, it's kind of like what Milwaukee's doing. Milwaukee's a surprise contender too. Like
oh yeah,
Milwaukee,
Milwaukee's awesome.
you knew like yourself like watching Milwaukee. It's like you always wanted Milwaukee to get passed around, and it's they were first round and out kind of team. But now this team is producing at a level that this is a guaranteed they could go all the way.
Listen, I don't want to sound like the negative Nancy here. Uh, okay,
Brewers
Milwaukee.
7 games up on the Phillies. Like no one. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Okay, Milwaukee. If Milwaukee was in the Phillies division, Milwaukee would be in second place. Let me just
Oh
put it that
yes,
way.
yes.
Let me just
Because you got
let
the
me put it
Mets and Philly, yeah,
let
Atlanta.
me just put it that way. First of all, okay. First thing. Uh, I have to see them get out of the first
First
round.
round. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
That's what
so
I'm saying.
like
Right.
as let's get to October. I believe you're going to the playoffs, right? I need
Yeah.
to see you. I need to see you perform in the playoffs before I have any like belief. Because every time I see them get there, like
Yeah, you're like,
I'm not gonna bet on them because all money says right now they're gonna get to the first round, they're gonna lose, and we're gonna be like, oh, it's the Brewers, like
yeah.
they're like the Blue Jays, or not the Blue Jays, the Maple Leafs of baseball.
hmm So for the final one on baseball, which front office strategy, buying, selling, holding, won the trade deadline overall?
Um, I think that The A's come out of the trade deadline a better team than they went into it. Um, and like they're a team that they've been good enough where like they could have totally sold off, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't sell off, right? And I like that because I think this team is a good foundation to start this organization off in like their new city, their new stadium, right? I think they're building something good over there.
Mhm. I'll give you an interesting one because I think the Rangers didn't sell and they could have sold. And they've been my sneaky team all year. That and yes, unfortunately, someone's got to pay for it, either the Red Sox or the Yankees. But I mean, Texas is only 3 games out of a wild card. I think them not selling like Degrom and some of their players and believing in them, I think Texas could have the potential of sneaking into that sixth spot.
Well, like they just won a championship.
Yeah,
It's not like that was like 5, 10 years ago. Like that was a couple of seasons ago, right?
I get
So
it, but they went from a championship to meh the next year. Like,
that's fair, but like if you've got okay, I mean, if you've got a sample size of guys, right, and you just saw this group of dudes, I guess it's especially after last year, they could have definitely got cold feet, and kind of went into sell mode this time around. So I think it's cool. I think it's kind of cool from a management standpoint. I think it's a good idea because sometimes you
yeah,
got to stick with the core that you got. Like, and they know that they've got a championship core there already in that team. So
I mean, you got Corbin, you got Degrom, you got Evaldi, you got Gray, you got Jack Leiter, you like Milner
you
too.
got
Like,
pieces.
you got a strong lineup,
Dude, that's like it. Like, it's a team that can compete.
and they got Molly too, Tyler Molly and Kelly. Kelly's been coming up too.
Okay. Well,
So I mean, they have the talent. They really do. As we were talking about teams that all around could play, it's like Texas is kind of built with an all around team.
I'm trying to think about the wild card situation.
Yeah,
MLB standings.
yeah.
Um, the wild card. I don't know, man. I mean,
Like I said, they're 3 games out. You got, and I'm looking at their lineup right now. You got Johan Hamid as a catcher. You got two good first basemen out of Jake Berger and Jock Pedersen. You got Marcus Simeon at second. Third base, you got Josh Young, Josh Smith, Shortstop, you got Corey Seager. Fucking left field, you got Langford. You got Evan Carter in center or Langford if Haggerty plays on left. And then like you got Garcia who's on the 10-gate IL, but Evan Carter slides over to the right, or Haggerty slides over to the right. So you got Carter, Haggerty, and Langford really in the outfield. And then like I said, like Haggerty, Heim, or Pedersen is their DH. So it's like they have options.
That would be
And,
three teams from the AL West in the postseason.
yeah.
Wow.
But the
Uh,
Yankees would have to slide. The Red Sox would have to slide a little bit. The Rays would have to slide a little bit. So it takes a lot for Texas. That's what I said. They're the sneaky. Like if they get in, they're only going to get to six. They're not going to get into like fifth or fourth place. Like I don't see that happen.
but listen, right? So the team that they've got there, they just need to get in.
Yeah.
Like that's a team that if they got into the postseason, they could become very problematic very quickly. You know, so
That's what I was talking about. Like that's when I picked them a couple years ago to go all the way. It was because they were a problematic team then. They were young, they were hungry. They had the guys that wanted to win, the guys that could win. You had a good amount of playoff experience, guys that could play in the clutch when they needed to.
well,
It's
okay. So how would the AL shake out right now if the postseason, right? What would the first six seeds be?
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, right now you have the Jays and Tigers advancing like as the buys. You'd have Houston. Who's Houston playing? Oh, Houston would play in New York, and Boston would play like Seattle.
That would be interesting.
I mean,
That's
as a Yankee fan, who would you rather? Would you go against the Sox in the wild card, or would you go up against the Astros in the wild card?
I mean, you really don't, as a Yankee fan, you don't love either of those. If I'm being completely honest,
Yeah.
you would rather see the Rangers be that sixth and play them. Um, but I don't. You know what? I don't know. I think you might want the Red Sox just because of familiarity
Mhm.
and just because it's a better win. You know, like as a Yankees fan, when we beat the Red Sox, I'm very happy always.
Oh
You
yes.
know, so.
I mean, even if it's the Astros, yeah, you're happy.
Don't get me wrong. An Astros win is awesome, but nothing's better than a Red
Like for
Sox.
the Red Sox, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the creme de la creme. Doesn't get better than that.
So NFL is right now, and we got nothing but preseason. I mean, we got the what was it? The fourth is when we started it all. But which training camp storyline, holdout, breakout rookie, or injury has caught your eye?
Come on, come on. What are we talking about here? Like what what am I like the one different guy in America? Shador Sanders just had an awesome game. He threw for 2 touchdowns. It like
Oh, did the baby hurt his oblique? Oh,
listen. Okay, this is all I'm saying is there would be, and I would love this for Cleveland fans more than anything. I like Browns fans. I like the Browns as a team.
yeah.
It would be awesome if it turned out they found their quarterback in Shador.
Oh my
They
God. You're not going to fight. Shador is not going to be the Cleveland Browns. After 28, 29 quarterbacks in like 20 years, Shador Sanders is not going to be ever better than Baker Mayfield in Cleveland.
listen. All I'm gonna say, okay, is it's this simple. his pedigree.
His
dad.
pedigree is only fueled by his ego.
Okay, listen. There's only so much, but at the end of the day, like he is the son of probably the greatest athletic specimen in human history. Okay, human history, not like the NFL, like the greatest athlete to ever move about amongst men. Deion Sanders is his dad, right? So, listen,
Yes.
it's not that far fetched to me that he would be good enough. I don't believe that he's like gonna be. I don't think he's gonna be like a 3-time Super Bowl winning. But I think he'll be a good quarterback. I think he'll have a good career, and I think he'll be a good answer for the Cleveland Browns. I hope, because it would be a great story, and then they would have first-round picks next year to drop on stuff that's important.
No,
besides
that's
the quarterback.
like, but see, I'd say with Shador though is, and I mean you'll love it, but I mean in that sense, it's like if Bo Jackson had a kid, it's expecting Bo Jackson's kid to be a freak.
Okay, but listen, if Bo Jackson's kid already made it to the dance, then he's already there. Like he's already backup quarterback to an NFL team. Like he's right there.
Okay.
So, I'm not going to doubt him any further. I like the kid, and I hope he does. I hope he has a tremendous career.
I hope he has a tremendous career, but we're talking about a 13-12 quarterback in a college that's not really a D1.
Listen, bro.
I gotta give you the heat,
That's all I'm saying. Like to me, that was kind of like the big. You know what? It was a big one, but it did get resolved. So Shamar Stewart, D lineman drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. So the length, like everyone thought he was like trying to be a holdout, but the reality is that Cincinnati was going ahead and changing the typical language for a rookie contract and like trying to set the precedent with this guy first. And this guy was like, whoa, like no, like I want the guaranteed money, like just like everyone before me got, like the other rookie so they were trying to set a bad precedent that luckily they were not able to, and so it came out, but the way that they were talking about it in the media, they had like clips of the owner talking about the situation. And the owner was like, you never know, say God forbid one of these guys goes out and gets arrested and it was like, what are you talking about? Like this guy doesn't have a criminal record. Like it was just like, it was a ridiculous situation, but that probably would have been the other one. It got resolved last week, like right going into the weekend. So, there's that. But what do you think? Like, what is it for you? What's been the big thing out of training camp so far?
Well, I'm gonna segue it into the second question. It's how concerned are you about the holdouts like Micah Parsons or Terry McLaurin? How they might impact the early season. So those holdouts I'm looking at those ones right now where Scary Terry's holding out with a Washington team that can compete. Mika not really want to stay in Dallas. Like these are players that people are probably going to go chase if they don't want to be where they want to be.
So, okay, a couple of things. If Mika is serious and wants to compete at a championship level, then he should leave.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't like. So just to preface for anyone who doesn't know this, I'm a New York Football Giants fan. Right? That being said, Jerry is on like the record at this point saying things like, if there's no news or whatever, like I'm going to go out and create it. Right? Like he doesn't really care. Like he just wants to make sure they're in the headlines. He's not really worried about fostering a winning culture. Right? And that is what it is. Like, I'd be pissed if I hadn't seen my team in the championship rounds for 30 years, right? There's a whole generation of Cowboys fans that have never even witnessed that. That's wild, right? So, especially when it's like the biggest team in sports.
At least Cowboy fans, girlfriends of Cowboy fans, know what it's like to be disappointed every season.
Right? That's a fact. Now, Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson's an interesting one, right? He led the league in sacks last year. Right? That being said, the team was still 27th or 28th in defense. They still missed the playoffs because the team was very bad at defense, which he considers himself the centerpiece of, right? So I understand, not just going ahead and giving this guy everything he wants. Because, right, we had you here and you've performed your absolute best, and your best has not been good enough for our defense to be better than, the bottom of the league. Mm-hmm. Right? So and he's 30 plus years old. So I understand them kind of playing hardball on that. Makes sense to me.
It always happens, though. There's always one guy that will hold out. Sometimes it goes in his favor. Sometimes it does not. It's the way I look at it is just put up and shut up. Like, I mean, he wants the money. He didn't perform last season. Well, if you want the money, then show up, and you'll get the money. NFL's the team. You're going to give Dak Prescott $60 million, and I know that's more of a Jerry thing. But if you're willing to give, but the guy goes 12-4, so that's why that guy gets $60 million, because he produces a winning record.
Well, so you have X amount of people.
For Trey Hendrickson, if you want the money, you're going to have to put up those defensive numbers.
Okay, but so Trey Hendrickson was the league leader in sacks.
I know, but how many years has he done that?
2 years in a row.
Okay.
He's earned.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a right to be pissed, and I don't say he doesn't have the right to make the money. But in your lifetime and my lifetime, when has Cincinnati ever really dropped money on guys like that?
Well, no, and that's the thing. I just don't think it's like in their culture to do such.
Yeah.
So and I don't know that I see it happening this time around. They're like,
I'm just saying there's some teams that really don't. They got their mentality. They don't give out 5-year, 6-year contracts because they just don't.
Well, and so that's specifically his issue is the amount of years that they're willing to guarantee him.
Yeah.
They're not willing to give him, like, I don't know exactly what it is, but like, say 3 years guaranteed or 5 years guaranteed. And it might be 5, right? And that's exactly where the holdup is. He wants that money guaranteed.
Said, he's in his 30s and he's produced two solid years back to back. I mean, how long do defensemen really last in the league on an average? But what, 5 to 7? And how long has he been in the league?
If you feel that he is of value enough to get it done, then just get something done already. Because now it's just a distraction, right? Like if you're gonna make this guy, get it done because it's just a distraction.
It is a distraction, but also it's a diva move. I think some fans really get really about certain players that hold out all camp and then they don't really produce.
Well, and that's
the culture, I find.
So Shamar Stewart, the younger guy who they did end up getting signed away, that's like the younger guy who would be the replacement for Trey Hendrickson down the line. Yeah. And so that's why they're kind of like, well, we just drafted this guy. Now we're going to guarantee you all these years. Like, he's not going to win this one.
No. So going into the next one, which preseason battle or roster decision are you most excited to see it play out under the lights?
Okay, so what game was it? Who were they just playing? Chicago Bears. This wasn't something that I'm excited to see play out per se. Um, they didn't play Caleb Williams.
Oh.
Like I don't,
Yeah, but
I
you only got two preseason games, really. So
and when you have a quarterback who needs to like get his footing in your new offense that he's just learning, right? And you know all this pressure's on this guy already. Like, why would he not be taking those reps? To me,
oh
that was
yeah,
just
no,
weird.
he should at least a first quarter or something. Yeah, I agree with that one.
Like,
But
it's just for him to not be getting rep. Like, those are like important reps. So I don't know.
they oh no they are. But you've known me for this long, and you know I always will shit on him. But I mean, I don't think Caleb Williams is. I think he's a bust. I really do. I
Uh,
don't. I don't know how much you could really give around this kid to make him better.
I'm ready to go there, but I'm not ready to go there. We'll see
Like
how this season goes.
this is gonna just be like Kyler Murray. Just he's gonna be just there.
Yo, they still talk about Kyler Murray, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel like every season it's like, all right, so this is that season that he's gonna break out. Like I'm expecting
It's
some.
it's the Crimson Tide in him. I find. I was just talking to a KC fan the other day about this. I was like, he was like about Kyler Murray, but I'm like, yeah, it's because I think it's because of Alabama. He came out of Alabama. You had this high expectation of Kyler Murray. He's a small guy. He just never had the team built around him. They say this year he does, but like that's what I was saying about like he's just gonna be a mid-level guy. It's just what he's gonna be until he gets a team. And this is no comparison, but it's like Drew Brees. Drew Brees up until like 2007, around that range when I'm not San Diego got rid of him because of the shoulder injury. And that was a bad injury. Like some of his players didn't think that kid would ever play again. But then Drew Brees got a team around him and became something. And that's what I'm saying about Kyler Murray. It's going to take him a while. If they build a team around this kid, he can win. It's just we got to see that team built around him.
He's got okay, so he's got the tight end in place, McBride.
Yeah,
Um, it he needs the breakout season from Marvin Harrison Jr.
yeah,
Like if Marvin Harrison Jr. becomes that like elite level guy with him as his quarterback, right?
yeah.
Then it just kind of he just goes that way with him, and
Mhm.
he's good enough to be that guy for sure.
Yes.
We'll see what happens this year. I'm excited. A lot of people are saying Arizona is the big like. I feel like there are a lot of people's hot take or sneaky pick to win the NFC West.
But we're also talking about the NFC West, one of the worst divisions in the NFC.
Well, the Rams, the Seahawks, the 49ers, that's good football.
It is good football, but the Niners have dominated for a while. That's so seeing a team not the Niners out of the West is just the rare thing. You had a good run with Seattle. You had a good run with 49ers. Like for in the longest time. We're talking about like the last 10 years. And basically everybody else is kind of The Rams won a championship, they lost a championship. They had their quarterback, then they had their quarterback. And so like the Rams have
Listen,
been
all I'm saying is the NFC West has had a team in the Super Bowl like a lot recently.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Less than years. You had the Niners, you had the Seahawks,
The
you had the
Niners, the
Rams.
Rams, like
Well, yeah, the
they
Cardinals
haven't.
haven't been there since like 2009, around that range. Whatever it
Who?
was. Yes. The Cardinals.
Oh,
When the Cardinals play the Steelers? Oh eight, oh
um,
nine.
give or take.
Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
So it's been a while.
2007, 2008
Yeah.
was the Giants.
Yeah.
The year after was, you might be right. It might have been, 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right. Steelers.
Yeah, because you had the
Steelers.
Steelers, Colts, Packers, around that range of winning championships.
Yeah.
But yeah, then you had Seattle, then you had, like I said, you had Seattle two, you had uh fucking San Francisco with three, and the Rams two in the last 10 years.
I don't know. Well, listen,
But
you know what? I wanted to give a quick shout out to the Raiders Nation. So we just went to, like, there's, they have regular training camp
yeah,
at, like, the outdoor facility, and then
mhm.
they have, like, a special black and silver, or silver and white, I think it was this year. But they have, like, a special training camp where it's like a team scrimmage, right? The fans, though, so it was inside Allegiant Stadium. The fans packed, the place was so packed out for a training camp. Like, it was packed out, and the fans were so cool. Like, dude's just like giving me, like, the what's up nod, giving me pound, like, the whole day, like, just randomly, it was very cool. It was a very cool experience. My wife's a Raiders fan. My daughter, by default, is a Raiders fan, until she finds out that the Giants are the better team. But we'll see what happens. No, but yeah, it was a really cool experience. It was really cool, man.
Mhm.
It was a good one. So, were
So
there any like, thus far in watching training camp and watching preseason, was there anything that you've seen where you were like, oh wow, like, just something that just really you didn't expect?
no, it's I have low expectations about preseason. You can go 2-0, 4-0. You could be amazing. It doesn't. I've never really see it equate to the regular season.
I think
So
um I think Cam Ward's looked really good.
yeah, but that's because you're what you got to compare him to. Because I'm not knocking Tennessee for who they picked with Levi, but Levi walked in under controversy, and it just kind of affected his the way he plays.
Listen, I'm not going to argue that that was the right guy, the wrong guy that's playing ahead of him, but
Mhm.
I think Cam Ward is going to be legit, and I think
Oh,
what's
Cam Moore's gonna be legit. I'm more or less knocking on the whole what happened to Levi. Like, dude, from draft day, his girlfriend was trying to fix her Instagram stock. Like, he had distractions. He was kind of like coming in the league hot, like Johnny Manziel. You know what I mean? Like, he had that controversy.
well, these things do happen. The reason that I was bringing it up is actually that I've noticed that Cam has very little, like, you don't hear a lot about anything going on about him. Like, you just hear, like, oh, he's doing well, like, on the football field, but you don't hear anything else because he doesn't have anything else going on.
No,
Which I think,
that's what I'm talking about is in that general idea, because now like the league's like, sorry guys, your girlfriends aren't allowed to come anymore, like kind of idea. Like the league kind of stepped in, was like, we're not having this happen fucking again.
well, okay, yeah. And I guess I can understand that, but, like, what I was really thinking is, like, what's good for him is that because he was drafted in the same draft as Shador, there's such a focus that way that this guy just gets to, like, take his time, develop, like, play football, and do all the right things. And all the cameras are on Shador in Cleveland.
Yeah, but we've seen how that turned out. Like in the general sense, yes, he got to Cleveland, But did you not read that? Like even Cleveland's owner is like, I wouldn't have picked him. Like
Listen,
how do you get behind? How does Shador get behind playing for Cleveland? Yes, he could use this to propel him to be a better player and going in him showing up and going, yeah, Cleveland, F you. Like I told you I was good. But like so he's gonna have to play that game because obviously the Browns really did not want him.
listen, the Browns picked him.
Yeah, but even
They
the
gave
owner
him the
came.
opportunity.
Yes, but the Browns owner came out and said, he said that was that guy's pick. That was it. Like that doesn't sell me. If I was a player and I knew that the owner didn't care to pick me, why would I care to play for that team?
I don't know, man. I think a lot of these guys are there, right? This is a rookie contract. This gives him the ability to sell himself as a franchise quarterback. Um,
He's
I
already
just
got Shador already got his money in college. That's why it's not that big of a deal. NIL deals have changed the outcome of how these players perceive themselves coming into the NFL.
maybe
They're not there to make the money. They've already made the money.
maybe he wants to win.
Yeah, but even Brady, and I'm not a big Brady supporter in some levels, but even Brady came out and going saying the NIL deals are killing these kids.
Yeah, listen, I can see why you say that, but like, get your money. Like, it is what it is. But again, like I said, what if Shador's just here to win? And that's what
That'd be
his
great.
focus
That'd
is.
be great. But I mean, the kid I'm excited about, and I don't know if you are. I mean, you're an Eli fan, so I mean, you probably have some love for Arch and the fact that Arch is coming.
I'm excited to see what he really is this season in college.
I've
That's
heard
what I'm
rumors.
excited for.
I've heard rumors that Arch is going to hold out another year.
Listen, I got to see him play. I haven't really seen him play.
I,
So,
oh, he played. I mean, it just he was competing with his other guy, Ewers.
yeah,
Like
he was
Ewers,
behind yours.
he was buying Ewers, but he outclassed Ewers on so many levels. In my opinion, of watching them, like I believe Texas would have done way better having Arch play versus Ewers.
Well, didn't
But
happen last year, but they did basically give him the keys to the car, proverbially, right?
yes,
So I
but
think Ewers left. Um,
yeah, years left. But that's what I'm saying. I believe and I mean I love Peyton, you loved Eli, and whatnot, and I just think Peyton and Eli have a different perspective for this kid. With Cooper, I mean, if Cooper didn't get injured, I think Cooper would have been number one quarterback out of like Missouri. I think he would have went to. So like you have like three potential number one quarterbacks, guys that won multiple like Super Bowls teaching this kid how to play. And if they don't think he's ready, I don't think he's going to be going into next year's draft. I think he's going to have 2 solid years in Texas before he actually plays.
that would be good for him, I think. I would like to. I would listen. I kind of, as a Giants fan, I kind of feel like Jackson Dart's going to end up being our guy.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. I would like to see. I would like to see Arch Manning end up getting drafted by New Orleans. That would be it.
And I've said this before, and I mean, I'll go again with it again. I don't think Archie's going to go to New Orleans. He's not going to go to Indianapolis, not going to go to Denver, not going to go to New York. I think he's going to go somewhere else.
Why not?
I think he wants
This
to.
guy doesn't like feel good stories, obviously.
No, I think, and I said this about Shador. I've said this about fucking LeBron's kid, Bronny. Stay away from your dad's teams. And yes, I'll give Shador a good on that one because he's not a 49er. He's not a Cowboy. He's a Brown. So I mean, I like that's my feel good story when you go into a different organization that your dad didn't play for. But I'll give you the sneaky surprise of the deck. I think yes, you got Cam Ward, but if they could try and say if Arch comes in this year or whatever, uh, grab Arch with Cam Ward. I think Tennessee, because Tennessee gave Peyton a blank check, so I think Tennessee's willing to try to get. If you're talking about a team that's connected to the Mannings, I think Tennessee is going to be the team that's going to go after Arch Manning.
We'll see. I think Cam Ward's going to be their guy.
Oh, well,
Um,
Cam Ward is good. Like they're going to put their time and effort into Cam Ward, but Tennessee's history is Tennessee's history. I think Cam Ward will go to Tennessee, but and do well. But I think it's going to propel Cam Ward to just go somewhere else. I think Cam Ward will play a couple seasons, then move off, and then Arch comes in.
okay. Interesting.
Because I
Interesting.
don't I don't think Tennessee is the right fit for Cam Ward. I would love to see
Why
Cam
not?
Ward. I'll give you another quarterback, the old school, like when Cordell Stewart went over to the Steelers. I think Cam Ward going after because the Steelers are going to need to chase a quarterback in a year or two after Rodgers. So the Steelers, I think, would go after Cam Ward.
Here's a hot take. The Steelers already got their quarterback and don't know it. His name is Will Howard. Um, there's my hot take. They could develop that guy right now.
Not while he got Rodgers. He's going to be fixing Rodgers' mistakes.
What better time to do it?
Oh, yeah.
You've got an MVP caliber Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame ballot
2010.
guy coming in.
Yeah, 2010 uh, champion.
What? Listen, once a champion, always a champion, buddy. You know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl? Are you
Yes.
serious?
Oh, I know, because Eli holds it over Peyton's head all the time. He's like, I got two before you got your first, and I beat Brady twice.
Listen, Peyton still got two, so
I know he still got two, but Eli put out Brady twice and put out the apparent 19-0 fucking uh, Patriots.
I mean, the New York Giants are the better team. You know, Eli is the better quarterback. But yeah, like, we don't have to talk about this
Oh,
right
better
now.
quarterback, my ass.
You don't have to get me going right now. We don't got to do that.
We'll
But
throw
yes,
stats up there and we'll see how far Eli is away from Peyton.
listen, guys. If anyone didn't know that, I'm actually a major Eli Manning homer. He is my goat. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck what you say. Eli first.
No,
I take Eli over any quarterback. Period.
You take Eli over Peyton?
Yes. Yes.
God.
You know, go look up how many. Go look up how many
You
times
stat to stat. Peyton is like way better than
How many
Eli.
times did Peyton lose in the playoffs to Tom Brady?
How many times did Eli lose in the playoffs? Does it really matter who he lost to?
Absolutely.
Yes.
One of
He beat
them.
Brady twice, and Peyton Peyton's got like a 3-5 record against them or something like that. But if Eli played Brady more,
Wait. So one of them has a winning record and one of them has a losing record. That's what you're saying.
yes,
One of them has a perfect record in the playoffs
perfect against Brady.
Okay, so I want the guy who's the best against the best. What do you mean? What is,
Oh, Jesus.
there's nothing you're gonna.
You're talking about Brady, who's won like 4 of his championships off of a kicker.
Tom Brady. I listen. Tom Brady's the GOAT.
I'll still put Montana. Montana's 4-0. Never lost.
That's fair. I want to like
Jerry Rice.
what I want to see is I want to see like 20 years from now some guys having this discussion, post Pat Mahomes' career, and like I wonder where he actually falls in like the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah, you get Mahomes up to 5, and then he's 100% in the conversation.
I mean, he's already in the conversation. He's just
He's
not
in
there.
the conversation. He's got his foot in the door. Yes, he's got 7 times AFCs. He's won 3. He's been to 5 Super Bowls. Yeah, like he's already in the door. Yeah, but people aren't gonna compare him fully to Brady until he gets 5.
You're probably right.
They didn't start comparing Brady until he got 4.
Okay, here's the question for you, right? So obviously Tom Brady played like a ridiculously long amount of football.
Yeah.
Right? The average NFL quarterback does not play football until they're 42, 40, whatever, 45 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever ridiculous amount of time this guy played ball for, right? Like do you think how many more titles, if any, do you think that Pat Mahomes wins?
I give him a solid 4.
More or 4 total?
4.
Okay. So he'll win one more.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I think he's going to win one more in the next 2 seasons. But I don't at some point that has to slow down.
Yeah, it's once he loses Kelsey, it's going to slow down.
Okay. This
and I'm not praising Kelsey. What I'm saying is Kelsey on the field, he gets double teamed. That leaves one open receiver for Pat.
The answer is already available. The answer is already available. Go get Tyreek Hill back.
Yeah.
That's already listen, Tyreek Hill is one of the baddest men in the world when it comes to running for that ball.
Oh, no shit.
And he already left the team, right? Went somewhere else to get that money, whatever. It didn't work out. If he wants to come back and play championship level ball, right? He falls in line now. Imagine having him, Worthy, and Hollywood Brown all running a routes on the same play.
Yeah, but that's what we're talking about. You need Hill to go back. He'll lose Kelsey. Kelsey's probably going to be gone this year. And then they're going to have to bring Hill back. But there's his championship. But I'd be too afraid that you give Hill one more chance at a chip. He's moving. Regardless if he's going to stay with Pat or not, he'll move on. He'll go for the bigger money somewhere else.
Possibly. Listen, I just have to throw this out there. I think it's so funny because you just brought up Kelsey. This was a real conversation. I'm driving 2 days ago. I'm driving. I got ESPN. I have Unsportsmanlike on ESPN with Evan Cohen and Chris Canty. Chris Canty played on Giants Super Bowl champions. So, I love that guy. In any case, they were having a conversation, and they're like, if they were to get married, who takes whose last name? Like, does he become Travis Swift? Or does he become,
no, I don't think that even if they got married, I don't think they're going to take each other's names. Bro, Taylor's got a whole brand about her name, and that's just what it's going to be.
I was dying laughing. Like, this is, as they would probably keep like their brands, like their names is like their brands or whatever, and then like behind closed doors, like unofficial paperwork, they probably have it another way, right?
Yeah,
something to that effect. But I couldn't believe I'm driving, and I'm like, how is this the conversation on ESPN radio at 7 a.m? Like, what is going on? Why?
Well, they use the podcast, their very popular podcast, to announce another Taylor Swift album. That's just what it's become.
Yeah, of course. You know that. Listen. I wish Taylor Swift would sponsor my podcast.
Yeah, let's have a tandem. We'll go up against the Kelseys.
I could start I could have like a 30-second intro with like Taylor Swift music, and, at the beginning, and like bald guys doing funny things.
Yeah.
All right, man. So UFC, you want to jump on those before we get out of here?
Yeah. Well, the biggest one is the biggest question, and I'll give you the answer I was talking about earlier when I started talking about it. Is that, are you excited about the MMA events leaving ESPN and moving exclusively to Paramount Plus with select CBS broadcasts? Now, where I was saying it, now the way you have to look at it is, I'm Canadian, you're American. You're in Vegas where UFC is huge, so you won't see much of a difference for yourself. But for me, I'm in a small town of 17,000 people. We don't even have that many bars that really host these events, right? And not that capacity to host a huge event either. Um, so like, you'd only get so many people watching these events. But now that it goes, and I know it's a while away, but moving to Paramount, and a lot of people, because this is a small town, people just home watching TV, you're gonna get a lot more viewership for the UFC, which means you're gonna gain newer fans in smaller markets.
I can agree with that. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a little weird that ESPN is not really going to have combat sports on. They just dropped their UFC and Top Rank deals. So that's interesting. Paramount's. Listen, for the viewer, for people like myself, like yourself, it's just one more subscription that you have to have or have to be carrying. You might have it already, you might not. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What's the thing? Up here at Paramount, a lot of people I know have Paramount because they like the TV shows, the movies that's on it, and then, oh shit, I got UFC now. Like, so it's not that big of a, for a lot of Canadians, it's not that big of a deal. It's just like I work with a lot of guys, and on my perspective of it, from talking to the guys I work with, a lot of the guys are excited because they're like, man, I don't feel like going to the bars. I don't feel like dropping a ton of money on pay-per-views every 2 weeks. And I already got Paramount Plus. So like, I have a lot of male fans that are excited they can watch UFC more frequently because it's going to be cheaper in their pockets.
Here's what I will say. I'm going to look at Paramount Plus in the future as a possible subscription because of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I haven't gotten that far into the thought. I think no pay-per-view or less pay-per-view is always a good thing. Pay-per-view has gotten kind of out of hand with combat sports in the modern day. Like on any given weekend, you could, like, if you were going to buy all of them, you could, as a combat sports fan, you could have to buy 4 or 5 different pay-per-views in one day.
Mhm.
Like that doesn't even make sense.
Well, that's where I have that question: is how do you feel about the shift away from pay per view? Does it undervalue fighters or enhance in quality?
Um, it depends, right? Right. It just depends on what they like. The way that these business models work, right? So what they'll do with moving more fighting to like streaming outlets, like Netflix starting to host a lot of boxing. Um, they'll just change the business model, right? So on the back end, the fighter will get like whatever percentage still, and it'll come from like per views or they'll just change the language to make sure everyone still gets paid. I don't think that that's necessarily an issue. Zuffa Boxing and these guys, Dana White and these guys, trying to change the Muhammad Ali Reform Act. That's probably something that will like affect the amount that people get paid in the future. That could change things a lot. It's basically that protects boxers now. Like, so you see how UFC fighters get paid like pittance compared to, Usyk made like over 150 million in his last heavyweight bout. Every fighter on the UFC roster combined didn't make that last year. Like
Yeah. Well, Dana White
so,
said with this deal of like $7 billion, it's gonna help pay better pay for fighters.
well, that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll definitely see.
Now, the one crazy one I'll ask you because I had as a question because we're getting late here is: will a UFC fight on the White House lawn for July 4th, 2026, resonate with fans or cross the line?
Um, it will resonate with fans who are Americans like myself for sure. Get her done. Um, but then there will also be a lot of people who will not like the idea, whatever else. I can't wait. I think it's a fantastic. I can't wait. Hopefully they'll have Conor McGregor fight in one fight and John Bones Jones fight in another fight.
Yeah.
There'll be fireworks everywhere, American flags everywhere. It'll be fantastic. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh my God. When I heard about it, I was like, this is the best thing ever. Oh my God. I love the idea. But you'll have people who are like, I can't believe they want to do this.
Yeah.
Different people, different mindsets. I love it. I'm here for it.
What's next? You're gonna have a UFC fight event on a fucking U.S. naval ship?
That would be dope. Anywhere, especially like any situation where like they could do something like, say they did it partnered with the USO, right?
Yeah.
And like they went to a base and they fought like for soldiers. That's dope. Anywhere they can
Yeah.
do that is off the hook. Yeah. So
I thought about that just because it's in my brain now because I just thought about it, but I was like, because they had the MLB on the on the racetrack. Can it be possible to a build a baseball field on a U.S. ship? Are they big enough that you could build one on there?
I don't know the dimensions of a field. I don't think so. I don't know how wide it is. It's a good question.
It's like, oh Jesus, can
Like
you?
I've been on an aircraft carrier. But I can't like I don't know. I don't have the depth perception to answer this question.
uh, well, Google will answer it because someone's probably asked it before. Uh, yes, you can fit a baseball field on a U.S. aircraft, but it would require significant modifications. because the dimension fields are approximately 183 feet long, 369 feet wide, and 400 deep. However, fitting a baseball field on an aircraft would involve installing a 60-foot wall between the foul poles and power alleys. This would not practically fit most aircrafts as they typically have limited space. So, like, you could have one docked and maybe build something up and then have the field be able to get the dimensions on there, or put two aircraft carriers together and just fucking build it like that, but have it live like on a USO. Like, that'd be
You should
insane.
figure it out and bring the Savannah Bananas to U.S. Service members worldwide,
Yeah,
even though you're Canadian.
I mean, yes,
Just an idea. Just an idea.
but that'd be crazy though to be like live on a ship. It's like, that'd be insane. Like, if they've done everything else, why not go that far?
That's a great question. All right. Well, listen, guys, it's an hour and 15 minutes in. It's about my daughter's bedtime o'clock, as I like to say. So we are going to be getting out of here, but we'll be back at the regular time next week at 6 p.m. Pacific time here in Vinny's Corner. So thank you for joining. Enjoy the fights this weekend, and I will see you guys back here next Wednesday.